Welcome to the podcast that drinks and no saints. I am Abby, aka Gertie of House Condescension. This is season 3, episode 10. I wish I had an Oscar Meyer Weiner. Recording date is July 8th, 2018, covering the Game of Thrones episode Mhysa. Joined tonight by my handsome co-hosts, Glenn of the Doghouse.
Yo.
And Ben, a.k.a. Sly of House McCummin.
McCummin. Yippee-ki-yay. What's going on?
And Lucan of House Black Betty. Bam Blam. Oh, Black Betty.
Oh, hello there. Hello. I was not ready for that either.
I worked a little bit on that. I was getting
Been
real...
waiting months for this.
Yeah, because I always introduce her as Gertie of House Condensation.
Yeah, taste of the own medicine tonight.
Right.
Well, gentlemen, what do we got in those drinking horns tonight?
I will have a Zima.
Right now, I've got Zima as well.
We got
they were free.
I've got some Bud Select I'm finishing off from Friday night, and then some Modelo Especial Tall Boys and Zima.
And we've also got Cast Iron
Brown.
Oatmeal Brown by Four Hands, St. Louis, Missouri. Yummy.
I'm making a
Yumbo, Matumbo.
Dailies berry lemonade frozen cocktail. Compliments of my mother.
There you go. A parent's
left it.
A parent's Capri Sun.
Get them at the grocery store, I think.
My wife has fallen in love with those.
I've never had them, and Mom brought them into my house, but I guess didn't drink them, so I guess mine's free too. Perfect. It's a cheap night. Well, I guess we should start drinking so we can get to knowing.
Yeah.
So cheers. Everybody. Okay. So let's jump in, and Ben, do you want to do a sigil giveaway?
Sure. Random draw number. Looks like number 30 comes up to a chalice, red colored sigil, and a blue badge outline. So it's a red chalice with a blue outline. If you have that, make sure you tweet a picture of it to @KnowAndDrink to claim your prize, and we'll get you something fun and interesting.
Yay.
Trendy.
Trendy.
All right. Let's do a shout out to our friends of the show. Sorry. Shout out to a friend.
So right now, we'll do a real quick shout out of those joining us in the live streaming chat. I see Bailey. I see LMR, who's from Poland. Don't let her fool you.
There you go.
I see DA in there. What's up, Dave? What's up, man? Appreciate you guys joining us. Hit that like button, share it, tell people to come over and start drinking with us. But our other friend of the show, this is going to be the last Ice and FireCon shout out from people that we met there. Glenn and I met Amin from a podcast of Ice and Fire, one of the longest running full rereads of the book series out there. They've been doing it for 8-9 years or so, and a lot of book left.
Yeah.
It's a lot of books left. And
Are they like just one episode per chapter?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And so you can follow them at APOIAF. They rep House Manwoody. Their hosts are Amin, Kyle, Mimi, Ashley. They run under the Vassals of Kingsgrave. And if you would like to join us at Ice and FireCon next year, go ahead and sign up there and use the promo code DRINKS at checkout. And you too can be featured as a friend of the show by following us on Twitter at @KnowAndDrink.
Okay. So our show is produced with the love and support of our wonderful Imaginary Legion patrons.
Including Bailey in the chat. Appreciate it, Bailey. We love Bailey. She's the bomb.
She is. All right. Let's go on to some current news of Game of Thrones or A Song of Ice and Fire.
Okay, yeah, so I got a fortune cookie a little bit ago that said international travel will be in your future. Now, I don't know how much truth there is to that, but I did find a article on Forbes, Game of Thrones, The Expedition, American Pop Enters Partisan Culture. So basically, I think somewhere in Europe, I guess it looks like Paris, they're having like almost like an art gallery of just different Game of Thrones stuff, like costumes and swords and all that jazz. But it's set. I think it's they're touring around Europe right now.
Mm-hmm.
So and it says it costs like 19 whatever currency they use over there,
lira or whatever, euro.
Right. So looks like you got kind of some Unsullied stuff, some costumes from the north. They got all these different exhibits, so looks pretty cool. You should check it out if you're in the area.
Yes,
you guys
neat. No, it does. That actually sounds cool. If it comes this way, or something, I would be willing to give it a shot.
Give her the old college try.
Yeah. New Patreon idea. We need to come up with an escape room Game of Thrones.
You need to stop just throwing ideas out there. Yours are so fucking convoluted and so much more work for me and Abby. Let's talk about these things off air so I can bash on them off air.
No, I know.
That's what we need to do.
New Patreon idea. You get to come and read one of the current events, so I don't have to do it for one episode.
You get to fly out here.
Oh, hold it. Oh. Keep going, Ab.
This is like in Forrest Gump whenever they pull the microphone away from him as he's giving like that inspiring speech.
Did you mute yourself?
She's still muted. What a terrible day for Canada and therefore the world.
And that's all I have to say about that. Keep talking, Ab.
Hello.
There we go.
Hey.
Yeah, I'm back. I'm back.
Yeah,
I'm back.
We have our host again.
Yeah. I thought I did get like the good old your speech is up. The music was ringing, getting louder. Just trying to get me off stage. That's all right. All right. Are we ready for the previous episode recap?
Sure.
Yes. See.
Go for it.
All right. Sam and Gilly approach the wall. Osha and Rickon ditch Bran and crew. John nopes out of killing a farmer and leaves Egret in the dust.
Nopes out.
The Hound and Arya get close to the family. Edmure flops his fish. Lord Filch gives his King a Crimson nuptial. And Roose gives Robb the Lannisters' regards.
All right.
Cool beans.
Sounds pretty much what happened last time. So, this is Season 3, Episode 10. It originally aired on June 9th, 2013. It's 63 minutes long and was directed by David Nutter and written by David Benioff and D.B. Weiss. Episode descript. That's
Season 3 finale. Joffrey challenges Tywin. Dany waits to see if she is a conqueror or a liberator.
Dun, dun, dun. All right. Now it is time for Quill and Tanker Pub Trivia. Perfect.
What was that?
Party horns.
Yep. So, the rat cook served the king a sun pie. Besides the sun, name the four other ingredients that were included in the pie. Mentioned ingredients.
Damn it. You sure it just wasn't like they used a pie filling from a can?
Pumpkin Prince pie.
Pumpkin pie.
Yeah.
Pumpkin mash.
I got the frozen section. Just add meat, stew pack. No.
Right.
There's four ingredients. Other ones that are named.
Besides the sun.
Besides the sun.
Okay.
That's a good question.
I was confused. Oh, son of a bitch.
We're not cooks. All right, I'm just funny.
Ah, son of a bitch.
How do you know this?
That's what I do. I drink, and I know things.
All right, ready?
All right.
Hit enter.
Some of you are very close.
All right, so we want
Glenn guessed onions, bacon, pepper, salt. Ben guessed onions, carrots, potatoes, sausage. And Luke guessed peas, carrots, cheese, and poop. The correct answer is
Come on, poop.
onions, carrots, mushrooms, and bacon.
I remember the onions and bacon. I couldn't remember the other two.
I remember the onions and carrots.
Yes.
So I guess-
So 0
So
points.
You two had two answers correct, right?
Yeah, so we get
But
2 points.
I don't know about
And then
that.
you get none.
I feel like
Peas and
it's
carrots.
Abby's call. But I feel like she asked for all four.
She does. Yeah.
I did specifically ask for all four so I could get
Point
points here because I
for
thought it was ridiculous.
Abby. Point for Abby.
Abby gets the point. All right.
Because it's the last episode. I've missed like 3 this season. I need all the points I
that
can get.
brings the season 3 total scores to Glenn with 2. Missed a couple episodes. That's tough.
Damn it. I got
with
Bart
3.
the bear.
You did get Bart the bear. I teed that one up for you. Abby with 3 points. Benji with 3 points. And I'll take the win with 4.
Oh, no, you said poop. That, yeah.
That
should be minus a point.
See, Abby, this is why you... no.
This is why you just put poop when you know you have it on lockdown. All right.
Hey.
All right. Good season. Good season.
It was. All right. So are we ready to head into the opening credits?
Yes.
All right. So Peter Dinklage got the title actor this time. Back to him, I guess.
He's
Last
back.
time it was different, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Back on top. That's good. We
Yeah,
hit King's Landing, Dragonstone, The Twins, Winterfell, The Wall, and Yunkai.
Young guy. What the fuck?
I did have one quick note on the opening credits. I don't know, because I was watching it, but I don't know if I've noticed this before, but they wrote the Shivering Sea.
Been there every time.
Has it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Usually I'm blanking out by that point, just, okay, where are we going to? And Essos and, so, but I was just like, for some reason, paying actual attention to that. So I wanted to ask.
And then also there was the Gulf of Grief that, has been there the whole time, but we just haven't talked about it.
I think
We passed by it.
we've mentioned it in passing.
Never heard of her. So
Never heard of her. We just passed by. Yeah, we mentioned her in passing.
There's also the Narrow Sea.
We did. Yeah, that's true. That's still there. All right, Ab. Where's our first area?
we are going to The Twins with Roose, the Hound, Arya, Freys, Northman, Rob, and Greywind.
Not Anne.
The fighting. Oh, yeah, you're right. Rob / Greywind. Thank you for the correction.
Rob Greywind.
Grip. Hybrid. So, the fighting continues as the Freys slaughter the Northmen. Rob is given a new crown, and the Hound flees with Arya. Why don't we have Glenn take this away?
Yeah, so I saw you said something about the Stark banner. The Hound actually grabs the Frey banner. I don't know if you caught
Does
that
he?
or not. Yes. And
Okay.
my guess is just to allow safe passage out of the camps. Because it's just a free for all. It looks like.
Yep.
Everyone's getting pulverized out there, and it looks like the Freys are kind of caught the Northmen off guard. Grabs the banner, so no one's going to mess with him. And
Yeah, that makes
gets out.
way more sense because I thought he had grabbed a Stark banner for some reason. And I was like, why would you do that?
Hey, I got a Stark.
Yeah.
Hey, look
And
at
I was
me.
Maybe he's like going to take it down and tuck it under his arm for Arya. I don't really know. I was like, this is a very terrible
memento.
move. But okay, so obviously way more sense. Luke, I'll go to you.
Yeah, so the scene kind of opens up on Roose, right? We see Roose, he's kind of walking around the parapet, and he walks up to the top of the wall and just kind of oversees all of the slaughter, going on out in the field itself.
The madness.
The madness has set in, as, quoting Glenn. And I don't know, the carnage looks pretty rough. I mean, it definitely looks like a slaughter out there, so.
Yeah, like the pull out or like the pullback shot where you're nice and high above it, you realize just how many people are down there being,
in a battle that literally one side had no not a single inkling that this was going to happen at all.
And
they're celebrating.
They were getting tanked.
Yeah.
Just going ham on some drink.
Yeah.
And playing grab ass and stuff like that.
That too.
Yeah. And then, Benjo, why don't we go to you? Because my thought goes right along with yours.
Yeah, my note was, seeing that with Rob and Greywind is really going to fuck Arya up. Yeah, but she's already created her list. We already know she has a penchant for wanting to kill people. That probably not great to let her see that. I mean, they didn't do that purposefully to show her, but, her seeing that isn't going to bode well for anyone.
I mean, she's basically seen every single person in her family, slaughtered. And maybe she didn't see her mother's dead body, but so far, those are pretty traumatic. And she knows her mom's in there. Not good. My same thought was, how does she even grow from this? Or what does she grow into? It just is too much of a,
well, one could say that Rob was a werewolf, so maybe that's what they turn into when they die.
Yeah. A Stark dies and it turns into
a werewolf,
a headless corpse with a wolf's head, stitched to it.
I want to go back
with the Chinese menu in his hand.
I want to go back to the question we asked the other day. If a warg dies, when if Rob died but Greywind didn't, what happens then?
Well, are you saying if Rob warged into Greywind?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, if Rob's died or he knew he was dying and just Yes.
So basically, he would live on in the animal, but eventually he would lose his train of thought towards the memories that he made while he was a man.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. That makes sense. But still,
yeah.
really
Greywind died technically before Robb did, though.
Yeah.
So
that's, gotcha. So, I don't know. That's a pretty sad scene. We're ready to move on to Walder and Roose.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. All right. So Walder laments about being the late Lord Frey and finds out what really happened in Winterfell. Oh, yeah, Luke, let's go to you, man.
So they're kind of chatting for a little bit, and then they're kind of talking. Well, Robb made these choices or whatever, but long live the young wolf, and that's what Walder Frey says. Then he gives like a real sarcastic. Oh.
Robb Roose joins in.
Yeah.
Well, it's his father-in-law. He's got to, keep him happy.
He's got to bone him.
He's got to bone him. He's got to give him a boner.
Weird. I kind of lost it not lost it in a bad way, laughed pretty hard when he started doing that. And I really didn't like that Walder Frey got me to laugh. Or Walder Frey. I was like, damn it, you.
Waltrip Frey.
Walder. You see a NASCAR driver? Weird. Oh, man. So, I don't know, Benj, what do you think?
Roose isn't wrong, in a sense. Had Robb listened to his counsel, maybe things could have gone differently. And also, we finally officially figure out who's been torturing Theon. It's, because it's not how we have it listed here, but the next scene jumps to that. So we find out, basically that Theon took Winterfell, but they're not the ones that sacked it, because his son is the one that actually destroyed everything and, fucked it all up.
And we find out that the guards that he said will pay you off or let you leave if you just turn over, he flays them.
I think, no, he kills them. He just straight up kills them.
I thought he said he flayed the 20 guards.
That's okay.
He did something. He did something to him. We know that.
Yeah, I thought he just straight up killed the guards and then he kept Theon to flay him. But I probably misunderstood. But no, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's just pretty messed up in general. Here's your deal. Leave, go home. Great, all good, and then,
it was
I don't know, that's crazy.
A ruse.
A
ruse. Glenn.
Yeah, you see in this scene that Walder just does not care about anything else. He did his big thing, and I think Roose is trying to instill him that there's still enemy, and the Blackfish escaped and stuff like that. And Walder he gives two shits. He's like, well, you know what? I got Tywin Lannister backing me now, so tough shit. We're invincible now. And I
think as you get older too, I mean, he's pretty freaking old, right? He's like, what are they going to do? Kill me? Oh, I don't have that much time left anyways. He's not scared, I guess. We do find out that, what's his name? Not really Blackjack Randall, but,
Floppy Fish.
Yep, that guy.
Edmure.
He is in a dungeon.
Mm-hmm. Spent his winning night in a dungeon.
So that's exciting. And I'm glad to see that, I feel like it's a confirmation that Blackfish isn't in on the plan or plot with them. He didn't get up and leave.
Okay.
Because he knew what was going on. Not that I actually thought that is what happened, but I was really hoping it didn't. And I don't even think this is positive confirmation that didn't happen, but it lets me maintain hope that it just was a coincidence.
Gotcha.
Well-timed leak.
Yeah, right? Pretty crazy. All right, King's Landing.
King's Landing.
All right, we got Tyrion, Sansa, #Shea Stadium, and Pod. Tyrion and Sansa enjoy a quaint walk and discuss ways to punish Eldrick Sarsfield and Desmond Craighall. That was going to be my question until I saw your notes.
Yeah, I thought it might be. I was like, I'm not going to. Yeah, I'll put them in there.
Yep. I was like, never mind. Scratch. New one. So, the only thing I really liked about this scene, one, I thought it was cute, but I like the way that as Sansa is explaining the plan to Tyrion, that you see Shea, give a genuine smile, this approving older sister, oh my gosh, she's so, silly or cute. It was a nice little moment. But, those two together are pretty funny. What do you think?
I definitely thought it was really cute to see Sansa and Tyrion kind of trying to make it work, or at least the best of it for what it is. It seems like she's being a lot more playful than I think he would have expected.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know, she's probably not still loving the idea, but again, maybe she's starting to come around.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. He's not the worst fucking guy around at all. And
He treats her with respect.
The daughter of a
And he treats her
traitor and the
with
demon
respect.
monkey. And, you know, they share a cute smile, you know, and she laughs and giggles at that.
and he's like, Lady Sansa. Like, it's the racy word for dung.
Yeah. Why shift? And he's like, my lady. And that's when they get cut off. But I do like how Tripod is getting mired by the ladies as he's passing. I know that pisses Luke off. But as he's running through, oh, that's him. That's the one.
Oh my god, he's the magic cock.
Says the whores.
I did like Pod's sweet shirt he had on. Him. I think he wears it pretty much all the time, but it's a pretty cool little vest he wears. I like it.
Yeah.
You will.
Aesthetically pleasing, you know. Glenn.
Anyone named Desmond Craycall must be a pervert. So we learned that Desmond Craycall is a pervert because his name is Desmond Craycall.
I think that's all you need.
That's all we need to know.
Yep.
That's it. All right.
Well stated.
1 point
We're
for me.
going. Hey, you're now not losing. So we have Tyrion, GBP, Cersei, Tywin, GMP, Varys, and Sansa.
So,
The small count.
you want to get real quick name clarifications on who we're talking about.
GBP.
Yes, because I was really proud of myself for getting those without mixing up the letters. So GBP would also be AKA Joffrey, Giant Baby Pussy. And GMP would be Grandmaster Maester myself.
Master.
Master.
Me and Gilly, we got things in common.
Yeah.
So that's names, and everybody else there's correctly named.
Correctly
Perfect. Correctly correct. So the small council learns of the Red Wedding. Joff gets sent to his big boy bed, and Tyrion and Tywin talk about family, and Sansa gets the bad news. Glenn, let's start with you.
So monsters are dangerous. Basically, Giant Baby Pussy calls Tyrion a monster. Tyrion's response, monsters are dangerous and kings be dropping like flies, yo.
Yo.
So, and then also, like, you see this scene where, you know, Charles Dance, his character is being questioned, and you can't outdance the dance.
There's no other.
There's no, and he reigns supreme over Joffrey and kind of puts him in his place a little bit.
I can't believe Joffrey was left standing after the "while you hid" comment. When he said that, I was like, oh shit.
Someone's going to get a spanking.
Yeah, like, I didn't think like, oh, immediate death right there, because Tywin, he's just too smart for that. But I was like, that was a very terrible, terrible choice of words. I'm going to go straight back. I'm going to go to Benji because I think that'll succinctly get us into the...
Yeah, because you just sent the most powerful man in Westeros without supper.
Mm-hmm.
If you think he is the most powerful man in Westeros, you're a fool. Like, it's just... Yeah, he's right. He's like, if you think that this figurehead is really doing anything, you're a fucking moron.
Right.
Exactly.
But then Tyrion's just like, oh, that's treason.
Yes.
Talking ill will about the king.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
no.
then they kind of go into the old Varys theory, or Varys riddle of three men, you know,
Where's power truly lie?
Where's power truly lie? And Tyrion owns up and says, the man with the army, you know, the man with the armies. Yep. And, you know, basically talking about Tywin, because Tywin controls the largest army in the whole country now, especially after the Red Wedding.
Not surprised, but even though Tyrion so desperately wants that approval from his father, I think he's always seeking that attaboy from him. This right here, it's very funny who does not get dismissed. And if Tyrion can't look at that and say there is like a reason, it wasn't for him to sit there and berate him or, you know, kind of, I guess maybe turns into that a little bit, but it was because that council or that strategical planning was important to have him there. So I think that is
true,
pretty awesome.
Also, though, he wanted to reinforce, hey, get your wife with the fucking kid, because now she's next in line, you know, and now your kid will be ruler of Winterfell and the North.
Yeah.
You know.
I also like to say that the scene, as soon as it was said, I was like, this is why I'm in love with this man. Joffrey says, I am the king! And Tywin says, any man who has to say I am the king is no true king.
Yeah.
And I was like, bam, got him. Exactly.
I'm not tired.
Maybe some dream wine.
I'm not tired. Yeah, he sent him to bed with no dinner with Benadryl. That is like...
Right. I do like that Tywin admits he gave the Freys assurances in carrying out their plans, so...
Well, we know that now.
Yeah, I mean, this was the first part of it. Then we get the later scene with Roose where they said, yeah, it was, all agreed upon.
Oh, yeah.
But that was almost sweet from Tywin with, you are, at the very end of, because I don't want to take your note there, Luke, because I'll let you go on with that.
Go ahead and say it, and I'll show you how you're wrong, but go ahead.
Well, I mean,
I'm sorry.
No, I said almost sweet because he basically says, yeah, I could have walked you out. I honestly thought about walking you out, and where I didn't do this for myself, I did it for the family. I didn't walk you into the ocean and drown you like I wanted to. I raised you because you're a Lannister. You are my son. And like I said, it was almost, because even Tyrion's face was like, that was a dick thing, but I get it. That was kind of sweet.
I don't think there's anything sweet about it. He's basically saying, because Tyrion calls him out, when have you ever done something for the family that wasn't your self-interest? And he said, oh, the time I didn't murder you when you were first born.
Yeah. It's like,
that's not a sweet thing.
I'm not talking about that.
Well,
I'm talking about
anything else.
But that's how the conversation starts. Yes. And he says, you're a Lannister.
Think of another
Which
example.
basically means this is for the family, not for me. I want you dead. I wanted you dead. I'm a cunt. Is what he's saying.
You just happen to be my son.
Right.
No.
I only allowed you to live because you have the name, not because I give a shit about you whatsoever. So that's why I think it's invalidated to say that he has any feelings or any sweetness about the statement. I get what you're going at if you take it out of context.
Yeah, take it out of context, but I'm also reading Tyrion's facial response and the way he accepted it, and he kind of was even kind of accepting of it, and he was like, kind of facially, he was like,
well, I think it's just confirmation of what Tyrion's always known.
Yeah.
It's not any different. It's just, hey, he's never heard his father say that, yeah, you could still die, and that's fine. And that's okay.
I also like that he expresses like the, not Bolton's phrase. They get all the credit and all the blame. What a strategic move.
Yeah. Moving the chess pieces to make them the face of the decisions.
Yeah, like the power or the praise and the backlash all fall on them.
Praise
Perfect.
and glory be the Freys' names. All the glory.
Exactly. Oh my goodness. Any final thoughts, Glenn?
Not really. Yeah, I like the point you just made. I think, put Walder Frey out there just because, if the North, they want to get revenge, I think it's going to start there. So at least it's not a direct route to the Lannisters, I think. It'll be Freys for what they did, and then maybe the Lannisters. Although the Lannisters did, there's still Ned to think about.
We'll always have Ned to think about.
Right.
The North remembers? Isn't that
the North?
a thing?
The
North.
The North Face.
King of the North.
Nerf gun.
King of the
That's
North
true.
Face jacket.
All right, let's
Welcome to the
go
North.
hang out with Varys in Shea Stadium, or hashtag Shea Stadium. Varys counsels hashtag to leave, not for gold, but to keep Tyrion safe. Anybody want to start here?
Mine's pretty obvious. If he wants me to leave, he can tell me himself. He fucking has.
He fucking has.
He fucking has.
He has told you multiple times, leave, go away, goodbye, good day, sir.
You lose. You get nothing. Good day, sir.
And yet you stick around. So, sorry, that scene, it's like, you had an out. You got an out, but...
You told Slugworth.
But has he ever said to her...
Not since he's brought her to King's Landing.
Oh.
So this is what
Probably not.
I'm not gonna get an argument over it because
I don't know.
I mean, it's pretty obvious. Like, this needs to happen. I think I said it a long time ago. She's gonna have to go at some point.
Get it?
But
Cut the
in her,
fat.
yes, in her defense, I mean, there's a guy who's like, you would be so much better off without me, and she's like, well, I love you, so I'm okay. well, don't you think that blah, and it's so hard and it's dangerous here. You know what? If you want me to leave, look me in the eyes and break up with me. Don't make this my choice because you don't want to be the bad guy. Grow some balls, look me in the face and say, leave me alone.
And don't text me about it.
And don't text me about it. No email. Voicemail.
Who wears the balls in this relationship?
Yes, exactly. I don't necessarily think... I think she wants that face-to-face, it's gonna be hard for you, and it's gonna be awkward, and I am doing this and hanging on because I know you don't want to, this isn't necessarily what you want, and if it is, be a man and suck it up.
So, question for you, Abby.
Yep.
Did Tyrion send Varys to have this conversation?
I don't know.
I'm asking. What do you think? What do you think? Because it sounds like what you're saying is you feel like Tyrion sent it. That's just what it sounds like from what you're saying. So I'm asking, how do you feel about it?
I don't think he actually sent him. I think Varys has a lot of birds and knows kind of what's going on with a lot of people, and maybe has the fact that this would benefit everybody, the realm included, and I think Varys has a huge interest in Tyrion because of the reasons he gives in this scene about how good he is for the realm. But I don't think it was necessarily Tyrion going to Varys and saying, please go get this done. Get her out of here.
Break up with my girlfriend for me.
Right. Exactly. I don't think it was from him.
Anyone else a thought on that?
I think this was Varys reading the room, reading the situation, and taking a stab.
Right, I would agree, but I think it definitely comes off as she believes that Tyrion sent him.
Mm-hmm. Right, so that's definitely what she seems to.
She seems to think. I don't know. I don't think so, though.
Yep, I agree with what all of you said.
Perfect. Somebody take over the show while I try to fix my broken cork.
Right. He asks
my wine uncorked.
He asks her, "Why did you come to this strange country?" And basically, is a comparison of both of them are from the other side of the narrow sea. Took a while to get to where they are because it's a long journey.
You can't
across the sea
in one go.
Not in one day or anything like that. So if you were to fly, it's going to take long.
A couple stops along the way.
Anyways, he's just basically saying, you need to get the fuck out of here, basically because you're a burden and you're going to fuck something up. And
this is a ridiculous amount of money. Please leave.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're going to be able to afford a lot.
Yeah, more than even what Tyrion could probably, in good company, do for you with, and you can be an independent woman, and do your own fucking thing and have servants if you want to and just become a big deal.
Is Varys that rich?
I think he's been well compensated for a long time, and he doesn't have much to...
He doesn't spend it on flashy stuff at all.
Yeah.
Or horse.
Right.
Usually. On condoms or...
Yeah.
Little use for the condom budget.
Gotcha. Savings. Hashtag savings. Perfect. Anybody else? Right here.
Nope, that was the scene.
Yep.
All right, perfect. Sorry. I had a wine problem. So, we're going to go see Tyrion, Pod, and Cersei. Tyrion and Pod share a drink, and Cersei gives advice to give Sansa a child to keep her happy. Benji.
Come on, Pod. Pour more. It's not easy being drunk all the time. It feels easy. Everyone would do it. Cheers. I do like that they're becoming closer. He's looking at Pod not as a friend, but he kind of wants to corrupt him and just be like, come drinking with me. You already fucked the whores. I'm envious of you for that. So, let's have some fun. And then, of course, Cersei comes in to kill the mood.
Where's Bronn?
He's working.
Yeah. He's commanding no, he's not in charge of the gold cloaks anymore.
He's a knight now.
Yeah.
He's got duties.
He's somewhere. He's hanging around. He's doing something.
Now he's on my list. Where's Benjen? What's his name I just mentioned?
Sirio Fidel.
Yes.
And Bronn.
I got 3 of them going right now. And, I know. He definitely... Who knows? And my other one is, where is Nymeria? That's my last one.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
That's my list.
So you have 5 on your list. The reverse of Arya's list.
The big 5.
Need to be found alive and well.
Have you seen us?
Yeah. I would put out wanted posters. And then nobody can respond to them because you can't tell me.
Yeah. Every one of these people comes back.
Just put it on the milk cartons and stuff.
Yeah.
I definitely won't put it on Twitter. That'll be terrible.
Yeah, you'd regret that.
Yeah. So let's go with, sorry, I'm reading people's comments, trying to keep this in sync here, but Glenn, we'll go to you.
So we find out this scene that Cersei is not going to marry Loras as much as she can handle, or it's not going to happen according to her.
No one cares what your father says.
But it's just like whatever, I do I want. And then like Tyrion's like, well, I thought the same thing about my marriage, and I was forced to do it. So she's like, nope, that's not how it works.
It ain't me.
I do me.
Try me. Yeah, she does think highly of herself or her power. So we'll see if that comes to fruition. Luke.
Yeah.
So the two of them are talking, Cersei and Tyrion, and they're kind of talking about the Red Wedding, I believe. And Tyrion's like, we kill one enemy and more sprout up. How long will this? And does he say two
enemies? Yeah.
And two
We
more
gain
sprout
two
up.
enemies.
So basically, it's the classic Herculean Hydra problem. You cut one head off and two more.
Couple more grow back.
When will it end? And she says, it's gonna take a while.
It'll be a minute.
It's gonna be a hot minute.
Yeah. So I think I understood that scene differently for some reason. I took it as he says, how long does it go on? And I thought he meant how long do we let Joffrey be in control? And she says, until we have dealt with all our enemies. Is that
you might,
I guess maybe
you take better notes than I do, and I could be mixing it up a little bit with a different scene.
That might be the next thing that she says about it.
Correct. Both are.
Both
okay.
Correct.
I think it goes in like a series of a conversation, and she says, or he asks like, how long does it go on? And
till all of our
she says,
dealt with.
And then about the enemy sprouting more, as I think how it goes. But I thought it was pretty interesting that here again we have both of them admitting to each other without necessarily saying names, like what a problem Joffrey is. And I also like that she even tells him, like, her reasoning for giving Sansa a child, like, to keep her happy and give her something. And I thought it was actually really sweet the way she phrased it was because to have somebody of your very own, like someone who is yours. And I think any parent who's very involved with their child, not just a mother, but any parent, that's like, they're yours. And to give somebody that type of happiness is something worth living for, at least. And Tyrion asks her about Joffrey, and she says even Joffrey, which I think, as crazy and fucked up as he is, she's still his mom. Like,
and she can never turn that off.
Yeah, that's just inherently in her.
Yeah,
and you can't fault her particularly for that.
Doesn't she say something along the lines of, they always say, the bad babies turn out bad and all this?
Yes.
I was hoping they'd be wrong.
No, she said they are wrong. Because he was a good baby.
Oh, okay.
He was a really good baby, apparently.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Gotcha. That's what it was.
Good baby.
She calls him a joyful little fellow or something like that. Like,
I'm sorry, baby.
Happy and just turned into it one day. So.
Excuse me, baby. Can I have that beer back?
All right. So, last scene in King's Landing, Jaime, Brienne, and Cersei. Jaime makes it home and shows off to his queen. The prodigal son returns.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I feel about it.
Kind
of.
Except Gled.
Yeah, I think it just seemed like the look on Jaime's face was like he was going to get a good welcoming, and it just was not a big homecoming as he might have maybe expected, or because he's just kind of smiling, and then people are just telling him to fuck off left and right, and it's like, oh
yeah.
Did any of them know he was coming? I'm sorry.
No, I'm going to talk to that a little bit because he's basically treated like a commoner here in the streets. The one guy's like, "Fuck off, farm boy!" Like
goddamn farmers.
Just because I don't see why he should be confused right now. He's the one that actively shaved off or let his beard grow out, right, and grew his hair long, and didn't send word ahead of time for his own protection. That was like this whole season. He was like, well, I don't want anyone to know who I am. When you show up here, no fucking clue. No one's going to know who you are.
They don't.
Yeah. Right. You didn't send word ahead.
No shit.
And you're also missing a sword hand.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
It can't be him. He has two hands.
He should not be surprised. The thing that's really disappointing is what I think you're going to get to.
Yeah. That 12-6 look on Cersei's face after she hears his voice but turns around and sees him is fucking brutal. She, hears him. She perks up. She's like, and turns around.
Oh God. What a monstrosity.
Oh no.
It's like just kind of grimy as their relationship is, and like against nature. It is really sad to watch that because you can see Jaime, like to him, he walks in, you see him first, like to her back, and you can see like the relief, like I'm home. I'm whole.
Everything
I'm good.
I've gone through.
It's worth it at this very moment. And she turns around and is like, oh.
This is what I get? This is what I get back? Fuck?
Exactly.
Now
Damn
who's
it, Glenn.
I'm gonna go buy some new shoes instead.
Now who's the half man?
Yeah, exactly. So I felt really bad for Jaime, and possibly it turns a different way. Like that's just shock and the initial, like, who's this homeless farmer man in my
Who's this homeless guy?
Hey, farmer, get out of here.
Yeah, like what the
Fuck
fuck?
off,
And then she
farmer.
realizes who it is, so maybe we have a
What are you
chance
doing in the
for a
Queen's Court?
more happy reunion. But yeah, it's definitely not what he was expecting.
Mm-hmm.
But that's okay. He can go be in love with Brienne or whatever. That'll be okay with me.
Okay.
That'll be all right. Anything else on the big letdown?
Welcome home, Jaime.
Yeah, welcome home.
Welcome home. Welcome back.
Welcome back, Cotter.
Perfect. It just felt like Chip and Joe.
Chip and Joanne.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, Chip and
Right.
Joe's.
So, the Night Fort. Bran, Hodor,
Chip and
Mira, Jojen, and Summer. We learn the fate of the Rat Cook. Luke.
I really like the Rat King story. It really brings kind of precedence as to how big of a deal what Walder Frey and Roose Bolton have done to the, at least like the collective northern culture. Like it's a big deal. Like that's like the one thing the gods cannot forgive.
Yeah.
And Walder Frey mentioned it, that the Seven can't forgive that, before the Red Wedding happened. Bran saying that the old gods will not forgive that. You can be a kinslayer, a kingslayer, all these things, and that's bad.
Mm-hmm.
But killing a guest underneath
That's
your
bad.
roof, that's bad-er.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's-
Well, you're a different
just
color
terrible.
than me, and that's bad.
Well, at least I don't have a stupid name like Scout.
Hold on a minute.
I thought it was funny that they are not even technically beyond the wall yet. And Bran is like, basically speaking of the feelings, like he's getting, I don't like this here. This is kind of creepy. Oh man, like they're fucked beyond the wall. You're gonna be creeped out all the time. Not that it's not warranted, but I just thought it was funny. Like he's a little spooked here and shit hasn't even gotten real yet. So we'll see how they fare. Glenn?
Yeah, this is one of the first instances of a Hodor echo.
We get a multi-Hodor.
Hodor.
Oh my. We were watching this last night and it was very late and my youngest woke up and he woke up right at this part and he wakes up and he goes, Hodor. It was hilarious. I videoed it, but
Hodor.
it was awesome. It was super awesome.
Yeah, and then also, like, if done right, one can cook one's son into a pie, and it would be delicious.
It would be delicious.
More pie.
I mean,
You can have
sometimes
second helpings.
it's like hot dogs. Like if you know how you see hot dogs being made, you're not gonna like them. But if you don't, and you just don't care,
Ignorance
they're gonna be
is
good.
bliss.
Yeah.
Cooked up bliss in sausage link form.
Right.
And,
Oh man.
and going to Luke's point, I do like how this scene, this episode very much transitions really well from scene to scene, and this one transitions right to Walder Frey, I believe, eating some pie, or at least eating something off of his plate, but
Eating food of some sort.
yeah, I want to say it's a piece of pie or something, but it's a good juxtaposition of going from the story of the Rat King to, oh wait, yeah, remember what this guy just fucking did?
Mhm.
Yeah, there you go.
And he's literally eating pie. It's metaphoric. All right, so we're going to go with, Bran, Hodor, Mira, Jojen, Summer, Sam, Gilly, and the Babe. My note is, looky here. Looky who we have here.
Something you've been calling for weeks.
Well, they're like, look, we're going up to this castle over here, whatever. And they're like, we're going north. How are we going to get through the wall? Then Sam gives us the answer in the next, how they're going to get through the wall. And it just was meant to be. So, hiya. Good teamwork. I do think that a man of the Night's Watch is taken down by a teenager. The South is fucked at this point. Like, she takes him out and he only had, please don't hurt me. Like, Oh, man.
Well, he knows where his place is.
To be fair, he's not a stud
Yes.
by any means.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's sweet and cute. And
Now, I had
what else?
one side note before my other note. Didn't they say last episode that the Night Fort is the largest castle along the wall and all that. That's why it's no longer manned.
Mm-hmm.
No longer manned.
Too much.
How unlikely is it that Sam and Gilly would run into the group of 4? I mean,
that easy.
That easy. It's you're in a massive castle. It's just I had that thought yesterday while I was watching. I'm like, really? Yeah. Okay. But I mean, plot.
For how loud they were when they were kind of coming through.
Hodorin.
Right. This scene really reminds me of the Mines of Moria in Lord of the Rings, where Pippin knocks the bucket down the well inside the mines. Yeah. It's just like ratcheting it around for like 5 minutes.
Fool of a
took. He's like, what the fuck, man? Like, there goes any chance of us, knowing that we're here. And it's just the Hodor thing opening up with that instantly makes me think of Pippin.
Yes. That's a good scene.
So I do like how Sam calls out Jojen kind of for his BS when Jojen's like, the Night's Watch and the Kings of the South can't stop the White Walker. And Sam just like looks at him and like, and you can?
And you're going to.
Yeah.
I mean, I know he wasn't quite calling him out. It was kind of a 50-50, like, you think you can? All right, I'm with you. But you're also, really, you?
In my actual notes, I have almost exactly what you wrote, except I was like, even the voice of reason, Sam, is semi-questioning this. It's not a good plan. I think they're going to be just fine. They're going to do it. But like even Sam, who is always like looking contextually around, helping Jon accept, his fate as a steward, like, look, this is good for you. I'm not good. If Sam questions it, I'm going to question it. That's my new philosophy.
I like when Sam's trying to kind of convince Bran that it's like, yeah, I know Jon, and like he sees the direwolves and he's like, oh, I've heard about them too. And I've heard all about Hodor, and Hodor's just like, Hodor. He's just like, oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah, he's like, oh, I've been around ghosts long enough to spot a direwolf.
Yeah. That's kind of one of my notes, but I also had...
And that's fine. And that's okay.
It looks like Sam's like the boogeyman here, where, kids are trying to sleep, and then the boogeyman comes out, and...
I'm the boogeyman.
And I'm really knows what the boogeyman looks like. It just
looks like
big boogie.
Same way as Tarly, apparently.
Yeah.
Blundering.
But yeah, Sam connects the dots by seeing Summer. I think that's his first inklage of, wait a second. I know who you guys are.
We'll say Bran
smart.
Does kind of let it slip. He's like,
what? You know my brother?
And
Jojen's like, shut the fuck up.
Quiet, you.
That's enough. Good scene, though.
Yeah. That's a good one, I guess. Jojen, he kind of bothers me a little bit. I'm trying to get on the Jojen train, but he kind of bothers me. Like,
how does the Jojen train sound?
Exactly.
And yes, we did rehearse that.
That was pretty fantastic. That was awesome.
Okay. Yeah, why can't we have Jojen with mental disorder?
Well, I can make that happen for you for our show exclusive. So,
join us in for a 20-minute orchestra of the Jojen train.
What do they have?
Coming to a theater near you.
The wizard music. We have just made the Game of Thrones.
The wizard rock. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There we go.
Jojen.
All right. Enough.
All right. Back on the Jojen train.
Okay. We're just gonna go to the Dead Fort. Dread Fort. Oh god.
Well, we got one more.
We got one more scene in the Night Fort.
Do we? Damn it.
Fort to fort. Between two forts.
Should we do a Jojen train?
We do. Right above where the Dread
all
Fort.
Transitions now from scenes. We're gonna go to a Jojen train.
So are we? Okay, here we go. Sam gives the group some dragon glass and why it's useful. The cripple, the giant, and the frog kids head north of the wall. So,
the giant, the frog.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right, fair enough.
Am I here to assume that Sam did grab the dragon glass?
I think he had a big pack of them though.
Yeah, he had a bundle.
Yeah,
okay.
I think
he may have left that one.
Sure.
Yeah. Because even in this, he gives Mira the arrowheads, so he had to have held on to the bag, the package.
Gotcha.
Yeah, he had the pack.
Okay.
He was holding the package.
There you go. Always hold your package. It's a good life lesson.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. Always Glenn with my reassurance of my good ideas. Glenn, tell us something interesting about this.
Yeah, I think Sam, like at this point, he's said his piece and he's not like a controversial character. Like he's not going to argue and, get in a pissing match or anything like that. But he just kind of accepts that they're going on their mission. They're doing their thing, I guess. He tried to convince them to follow him to Castle Black. But at this point, they're just not going to do it, and he's done, convincing. So he gives them the tricks of the trade to, get to where they need to go, I guess. So
yeah, so it's kind of with mine. Sam could really learn to start saying no. If he really didn't want them to go through, go to the north because he didn't feel it'd be safe, he could have just said, "Well, I'm not gonna, stop you, but I'm just not gonna show you the secret little passage down here and figure it out yourself." But kind of no spine on that one, because I think he does believe that they might be the hope or whatever.
The hope, the dream, everything we've been waiting for.
Yeah. Because at one point,
Obi-Wan.
At one point, he's like, "Well, I've seen shit, north of the wall. Why the hell you want to go there?" And I think Jojen's just like, "You mean the White Walkers, right?"
Yeah.
Like let's just say that.
Well, how'd you know that?
And Bran right there, he's like, I don't want to. I have to. Gotta get back on that Jojen train and keep a riding. Jojen!
All aboard the Jojen train.
Our tickets, please. Validate at the station.
Jojen to ride.
All right, are we going to take this Jojen train somewhere else?
Yeah, we're going to the Dreadfort, I hope, this time, for real. No, I don't. Can we just skip this scene, please?
Nope.
Oh,
Nope.
We can do a Jojen train transition.
Jojen train transition.
All right. Let's just talk about hot sausages. So,
sausages smell like sausages.
Ramsay and Theon. Ramsay enjoys a nice pork sausage as Theon is missing his. And Theon gets a new name.
I always wonder if eunuchs have a phantom cock. Next time you think about a girl, I wonder if you feel the itch. And at the end, I'm gonna leave my note till the very part, but yeah, I wonder if you feel an itch. With a little wiggle.
Wiggly tough.
Wiggly tough.
Oh, gross.
Yeah, so basically, Ramsay is teasing Theon by eating a penis-shaped food, just after he lost his, like we said in the thing. And everybody knows that penis-shaped foods are the best kinds.
I think that might be true.
We've learned that in previous films.
Your in-depth research has shown this. I already thought that Theon was pretty broken. I mean, his will to live, lack of spirit, everything was kind of gone from him. But this right here is, you see him break. And that was hard for me to watch. Like, it's not so much, I know I'm not supposed to like Theon. I know he deserves punishment, but I wish he would just kill him. Like, this to me is, and maybe because I know Bran and Rickon are alive, I feel like it's just this extreme, just kill him and be done with it. And to watch him break was just
and he's
very
he's
uncomfortable.
To get killed at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's asking, like, just kill me. And I wanted him, like, I didn't want to admit it, but I wanted him to keep saying Theon Greyjoy. Like, just don't give in. Don't give in. And then he did, and I was like, damn it. Like,
after 3 punches, too. I mean, I know they got consolidate and they can't go on and on, but
I mean, he's also been in this, for me, I feel like forever. Weeks he has been strapped up to that thing, tortured, tormented, psychologically, I mean, just fucked. And now, not that I would think necessarily 3 punches, but I don't think it's just like, oh, 3 punches and you're done, you suck, bro. Like,
no, I know.
It just...
And I'm not saying that, I'm just going with, I wish they may have drawn it on a little bit further.
Oh,
It was
God,
enough.
no.
3 punches
I think
is enough.
It's been enough.
That's fair.
Yeah.
It's
just
gonna,
rough.
Well, at the end of it, after, he, gets them to say, and he goes, it would have been a perfect time, for Ramsay to say, you must remember your name. Well, I was so hoping, because I couldn't remember if he says it in here, because that's definitely a book, thing that Theon, keeps thinking over and over and over again of, my name is Reek. You must remember your name. And so like, I think that would have been a perfect spot for Ramsay.
Just to put a catchphrase more than anything.
Yeah. Just put a catchphrase, but put that nail in the, that kind of last bit of, or I guess last wink to the audience kind of thing.
So Theon has his own chapters, his POV in the books.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's going to be bad. Okay. Sorry,
We'll
just
get there.
mentally
Yeah.
preparing.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Yeah,
We'll get there. But for now, his name is Reek.
Reek.
So that's pretty rough. Pretty rough stuff.
Yep. Not fun. All right, are we ready to move on to something even more fun?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Not really that much.
Woo,
But
let's get on that Jojen train. Let's go to the next scene.
all right, we're going on the all
Hop on
aboard
the
to
train.
hike. We have Balon and Yara. They get a letter and a gift from Ramsay Snow, and Yara sets off to bring Theon home. I have in here Yara with 50 body slayers on a fast boat. It's going to be my clue thing. I'm going to try to get as many in here as I can for the next 3 episodes. We'll see how it goes. Encourage me.
Your clue thing?
Like clue, Yara on a boat, or Yara in the courtyard.
Yara with the
Yara with
candlestick on
yes.
a boat.
Yara with the Dagmare.
Okay.
Yep, that's going to be it.
So in this scene, this is, I think, where we have it confirmed that Ramsay indeed did slaughter all of the Ironborn men when they had that set up to leave Winterfell, because Roose and Walder Frey were talking earlier, because Walder's like, what happened up there? And, I never really heard. And we kind of talked about that before, but they basically just say, we had an agreement that they were going to let the Ironborn go, but we were going to keep Theon. So Roose doesn't even know, as far as we can tell, that Ramsay did go ahead and slaughter all of the Ironborn anyway.
Yeah.
Right.
At least in this, if we're to believe here in this letter. So yeah, I don't know. I just think that's interesting that this is the way that it's confirmed to us that he does indeed kill them all.
Right. And you see Ramsay tell basically Balon to, have a dick. And Balon just doesn't care about Theon anymore. So he's not going to do anything about it.
Mm-hmm.
But
he's not even my son anymore.
Right.
He's not even a man.
He's not a man.
I took away Theon's favorite plaything, favorite toy. He was so happy, or he was so sad when I took it.
Yeah.
Right.
But Yara, you can still see that Yara cares. And is going to do something about it. Be proactive. Get him back. Cock or no.
Well, I mean, she's seen her brother's cock now.
Right.
Yeah,
Can't unsee that. It was
There's
in a
that.
box.
Sad. Yara's
Confirmed.
Can confirm.
Yara's just pissed because she's like, nobody gets to cut his cock off but me. Come on, the fucking dick.
Well, not anymore.
Yeah.
What a
fucking
dick.
dick anymore. Thanks for noticing.
I thought it was pretty ballsy of Ramsay. So
Ballsy?
yeah, ballsy. He sends a letter.
He's really cocksure.
Yeah, and signed from himself. From Ramsay Snow, son of Roose Bolton, and gives his dad's titles. But this, to me, it's just a very, I don't know if it's an appropriate type of gesture coming from him, is where I'll leave it right now. It just caught me a little ooh, okay.
A questionable political move.
Yeah,
I agree.
okay, he's pulling some power here. That's can be good for him. I don't like him, and I'm on the bad guy side of him. I think he kind of creeps me out. But as far as a power balance right here, this is a power move to me.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see where that goes with that one. Anybody else about Yara going after her brother?
It was a cool shot of the ship, of her walking the bow and everybody just going, and you hear the Greyjoy theme kind of roaring.
Swell.
With it. Yeah, the swell.
Yeah, it's nice to see that she's really doing this. It's because they've had their ups and downs.
Yeah.
Whenever he didn't recognize her and she kind of pulled the wool over his eyes and tricked him. But that's still her brother. And the fact that she has her priorities.
And she even tried to warn him away from Winterfell, leave with me. Come on. You did it. Good job.
Mm-hmm.
We need to, you're not going to hold though. And, so she's always been trying to protect him. And this is just another.
Also impressive against her father, who is a pretty, dictator type of person, or gets what he wants.
Yeah.
There you go. She says, no, this is what I'm going to go do. And then, against her father's will, or maybe he's just whatever, Yara, she commands power herself. People respect her, her father respects her, and the men she takes, it looks like, maybe not willingly because they're loyal to them or whatever, but they're behind her. They're in the boat, they're ready to go. Pretty cool chick, I think.
A bad bitch.
One bad bitch.
One bad
That's
sea
right.
bitch.
Sea bitch.
Ooh, yeah. So let's go to Dragonstone, where we have Davos and Gendry. The two have a nice discussion about Flea Bottom and how they've gotten to where they are now. Benji.
It's a long story. Oh, better not then. I'm pretty busy at the moment. Gendry was odd at this scene. He was just hitting a couple good one-liners, and It was a nice scene, because they kind of both, can see, everything or see where they're both coming from. And I do like the line of, she was using big words and she was naked.
No,
what was I supposed to do? Yeah,
what would you have done?
What was I supposed to do?
Yeah, I think Davos kind of understands that, she's a good looking lady, and it's just something that I think he realizes that they both have a lot in common, Gendry and Davos.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they both came from the same place, been in a cell before. And other stuff.
Salesman.
And
even with that, Davos is like, yeah, she definitely knows her way around a man's head, because I think that's kind of his commentary on how Stannis is acting around her and basically acting because of her advice in these things.
When he took her to wherever...
Storm's End.
I'm sorry. Is that where he took her to have that little shadow baby thing?
No. Or
kind of.
Okay.
It was anyways. She gets out and she says to him, you want me. And he doesn't necessarily throw away or deny it. He's not you're crazy, nothing. He kind of looks at her well, you're pretty hot.
Only reason to kick her out of bed is pucking on the floor.
But, I think that is a hint at that too. Not necessarily him, but questioning. Oh, no, this is a really bad decision. But for a split second, okay, you're not so bad looking. I think he understands. Him and Gendry are very alike.
And that's the main thing I kind of took from this. It took Gendry a little bit to kind of accept that Davos is the same as him. He was like, yeah, I heard she called you sir. And he's like, that's a recent thing. He's like, okay, whatever. Good one. I don't believe you. And Davos is like, yeah, I grew up in Flea Bottom too. And he's like, oh, okay, how close to the Red Keep? And he goes through, where I lived, the shit would flow down Aegon's Hill all the way to, Gin Alley. And the Davos, that was enough for Gendry to kind of be like, okay, you can't just make that up unless you actually know what you're talking about.
You've been there.
And then Davos calls him back. He's like, yes, Street of Steel. You lived in the fancy part of town, you prick.
Yeah.
I just thought that was great of him to be like, yeah, I'm from even lower than you. Trust me.
Yeah.
There's always up to go. Just don't be a cunt about it.
Yeah. Right.
I think it was interesting. You can see that Gendry is lonely. He's asking Davos questions, I think just to talk to somebody almost is the feeling I got. And he asked him how did you become a lord? And he said, I did it for my son. So he wouldn't have to walk over a pile of shit every time he walked in his front door. And, Gendry said,
did it work or?
Yeah, something like that.
So where's he now?
Yeah, where's he now? And he said he's dead. And that's pretty oh shit. He became a lord for his son, not necessarily his own ambitions, but to better his son's life. And then, how did he die? And Davos says, following me. To bear that weight as a father, I think that's...
That guilt.
I don't think I realized that's necessarily how he felt about it before this moment. I know he felt that his son was too believing in the Red Witch. He thought he put too much stock in her and that he died and this was bad. But I don't think I realized he realized or put the blame on himself. Mm-hmm. So I was like, man, that sucks for him.
I agree.
Poor Davos.
That sucks for him. That's rough.
Poor Davos.
Woof. Woof.
Rough.
Bark, bark. Woof, woof.
Glenn, you got anything? I have no notes.
I already said a little bit, so
perfect. I wasn't listening.
Said his piece. Jojen train.
My piece.
Next scene.
So Davos, Shireen, is that right? Shireen,
Shireen.
Stannis, Mel, and Gendry. Davos gets word from the Night's Watch and learns about Robb's death and sets Gendry on a 3-hour tour.
A 3-hour tour.
We're gonna start with Benji here.
Niggets? Niggets? What? I did like that he's, learning to read and he's, and then he gets the message about the Night's Watch and kind of throws it in his pocket. But then he goes to talk to Stannis and they find out about, the Red Wedding and Robb and everything. But the line is, what is life one bastard boy against the kingdom? Everything. Everything, my lord, or my grace. And that's Davos with the hard truths, always. Because if you can't defend the few, why do you get to control the many? Is kind of his point with that.
Yep. Glenn?
Yeah, Davos he's kind of like the manager of a pop singer or something like that, or responding to fan mail. You get a million letters and they get a letter back oh, that was from Justin Bieber. Oh my God. No, it was just from some, campaign manager or something that's responding to all these letters or something like that. And then the other point I was going to bring up is like Davos is like saying that Gendry's a good lad, like he's a good boy, like, and they're like, well, we're going to kill him or whatever, and they had to know that he was going to do something about it. Like, so I don't see how they couldn't have seen why they're going to release Gendry. It just seemed like the next logical step.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was pretty stupid on their part.
Or at least like keep him, close to their nose a bit.
Mm-hmm. And he's going on. He's like, uniting the 7 kingdoms using blood magic is wrong. It is evil. You are not an evil man. And he's like, a drop of this kid's blood, quote unquote, killed Robb Stark. Like, can we not try that again? And even there,
just the drops.
Mech is like, and he's no closer to the Iron Throne. Get the fuck out of here. What's 1 king down? Like, that's literally 20% closer than you were.
The only thing I'll say to that is,
this point 30.
I don't think Robb Stark was a big threat to Stannis.
Sure, and
like they could have battled the Lannisters. Yeah, that too. Or they could have dumbed down one of the armies and then, one of them would have died anyways. Mm-hmm. So
yeah, I just thought it was funny. She was like, "And he's no closer to the Iron Throne." I was like, "Well, we have an issue of
let's try that again and see if another one goes down."
Right? Yeah. Let's keep on
before
this path.
We jump to conclusions.
One is not 3, my lord.
We need a jump to conclusions pad.
A jump to conclusions pad. The guy made $1 million.
I really like the Davos, aka Michael Schofield. Of this that went down was pretty awesome. I mean, he did not have tattoos or nearly as much of an intricate plan. He kind of just went down there and let him out.
It's pretty straightforward.
I mean,
this prison break,
right? Like what kind of prison or cell is this? It's terrible.
Well,
they need to rethink this.
He's the hand of the king.
He can walk in, say he's coming with me, and just walk him right the fuck out.
This is a very terrible plan by Stannis, but I think maybe Stannis knew it was going to happen.
Can you swim?
Like, okay.
Just think about how easier Michael J. Schofield would have had it if he was hand of the king.
He would have had less tattoos, though, so I call that no.
That's true.
But yeah, can you swim? No. Don't fall out the boat.
Don't fall out.
Yeah. Have you ever been on a boat? No. Do you know how to swim?
Which is not true.
Don't fall out.
Well, a boat, like different than a ship.
Yes.
A rowboat where you have to do some labor.
It's even like the other way.
You see Gendry again questioning like why somebody's doing something for him. He's like, "Why are you doing this?"
Is this some kind of trick? It is. Yeah, but not on you.
Right. Because it's right. And I'm a slow learner. Like, he's just charming. I like Davos.
Yeah, he's a good guy. He's a good bloke.
Do the people know what your face looks like? No. All right, good. Well, be more concerned about the Red Witch.
Right, she does, and she's looking for you.
Right. Bad idea. All right, shall we move, gentlemen? All right. Stannis, Mel, Davos. Stannis sentences Davos to death for freeing Gendry. Davos warns of war He warns of war to the north, and Mel and her god spare the Onion Knight. ... For now.
For now.
Forever. I thought it was like I'm trusting her. I believe what she is saying here is true. Is the best way I can say this. I don't think she's lying. What I've realized that I have trust issues with is wondering if the Lord of Light is the power that I want to follow. I don't know where those motives come from. I believe she is some type of beacon for this magic or power or God or whatever it is. I believe her in those truths she's been speaking to people. What I don't know if is this the right path you should be on? That's my problem here. And
so you agree that the power is there, but the intentions maybe should be questioned.
And I don't even know if I fault Mel here because she has this power and obviously she is getting a physical,
she's getting a physical
confirmation. Yeah, confirmation of its realness. And I've realized that it's not necessarily her I don't trust. It's literally the Lord of Light.
Yeah.
And that motivation. So.
It's fair. My second note on this was, I found it kind of interesting how fast she accepts that there's an issue up north that needs to be dealt with. So it's kind of like, can she read the flames that quickly? Like she reads the note, throws in the fire and just decides, or is she just maybe has seen something before, but this is just confirmation? So it just, the quick turnaround was kind of
I would say for how quickly it happens, it feels like more of the second item there. It's more of she's been seeing signs and something about this flips a switch that says, this is confirmation on something I didn't realize. This is a piece of information I didn't have that makes that vision or information make more sense now.
Yeah.
So I think that's a pretty good catch. It's curious.
And then also interesting that Davos doesn't tell Stannis that Shireen actually teaching him how to read. He says Mathis taught me before he died. I don't know if that was more kind of a jab at Stannis because his son died alongside, when he was alongside him, or if it's to protect,
a noble lie.
Yeah, like to protect Shireen from
to protect other people.
Yeah, so I can't read how that one falls, but I did find it interesting that Shireen's not the one, getting the credit.
Mm-hmm. Rich Shatwell from the chat has a pretty good point here. He goes, as a viewer/reader, I think they try to push you to the old gods, but make sure you stay intrigued with the other religions because they actually do something that affects the world. The Red God is making these, or whatever is in charge of that, has these clear representations that are pretty straightforward. Like, he's getting credit for this, or, this God's doing this. It's pretty flashy. It's noticeable.
For a long time, I thought there was like the old gods and the new gods. That was it. And then the Lord of Light shows up, right? But I've started to think that it's more than that. Like the Faceless Men, that's like a religion instead of just like an ethnic group or a region or like a little bandy tribe. Like that's their belief.
Okay.
So I think there's a lot more religions than probably if I went back and started like writing down, okay, these people kind of go here and this, I would end up with more than I could give you right here.
And what do we say to the god of tits and wine? Yes.
Drink.
My note about this scene is Davos is holding one last ace up his sleeve before being sentenced to death. Mm-hmm. So it was definitely big news to share with them, but he waited for the right moment to tell them, after they're going to kill him. He's like, wait a second, I got this.
Hold on just a minute there.
And what if he would have grabbed the wrong note and it was just the invitation to the whoever's name day it was or whatever.
That's what it was, yeah. Hey, join us in our bat mitzvah. That's your saving grace, Davos?
You're relevant.
So whenever, Stannis is like, I sentence you to death, and I love how quickly Davos is like, well, since you haven't unnamed me hand of the king, I'm going to advise against this. I just
why.
love that. And here are my reasons. And it's just hilarious. He's like, since you haven't unnamed me, you can sentence me to death all you want. You have to specifically unname me hand of the king. You're gonna need me, okay?
And even Stannis kind of pauses at that, damn it, he's right.
What do I need from you? And that's when he holds out the.
And then even Melisandre's just he does play a role. You can't kill him.
I just still have a lot of problems with #NotMyStannis. He is this representation of King Stannis Baratheon is so overly puss-whipped. Mm-hmm. It's really frustrating because he doesn't make a fucking decision here without Mel basically being the one that says, we gotta have him. That's okay. Come on, man.
I'm glad because
it's not right.
It ends up not killing Davos.
I'm all for the end game.
The end game. But no, I agree. It's because that's not Stannis. Stannis
I feel
makes
like Stannis
decision
could have made that decision because he knows it's right, not because he made he already made the sentence. That doesn't mean he has to stick to it if it's no longer accurate and correct.
Agreed. And he believes Davos did the right thing because he wouldn't have gone to as Davos said last episode.
Right.
You waited until now to come and ask my counsel because you don't want her to do this. Mm-hmm. You want me to talk you out of it. So he basically knows Stannis wants me to get rid of you because it's not, what they want. What the king wants.
Yes.
So. Yes. So.
#NotMyStannis.
Not your Stannis.
Yeah, definitely. I don't even know the other Stannis, but this one's not mine for sure. I know. So we're going to move on to the Riverlands.
Sure.
We have Arya, the Hound, the Freys. Well, some Freys. Freeman.
Freeman. Everyone loves Freeman.
Fraley Freeman.
So Arya and the Hound come across a group of the Freys reenacting the wedding. I'm going to go with Benji.
Does fuck off mean something else where you're from? And, it's like, I'm hungry. I'm cold. And does fuck off mean I have money? I have, silver or whatever. Sorry, let's throw it to you, Glenn, on that one because it kind of ties into your.
Oh. Yeah. Okay, yeah, he was trying to throw it up. she dangles the coin, the Bravosi coin, at them, and a perfect little fumble of the coin. As the guy starts to pick it up, she kills him.
Yeah, she kind of goes ham on the ham.
She goes ham on the ham.
Nice.
And then the hound kind of lets all that play out before he comes in and just runs through the rest of them.
He lets her get hers. I like that. Like,
Right.
he's like, you know what? I'm gonna let.
I don't know what you're
she's
doing.
Angry.
Yeah, because he's the one that was bragging about sewing the head on to Rob and all that, and also the one saying, "Oh yeah," making fun of Catelyn, getting her throat slit. So makes sense why Arya would focus in on him.
Yep. And man, terrible. But I like my favorite part of the whole scene is when the Hound says to her, "Where did you get the knife? From you."
And he
He's
looks
just
down.
like, "Oh shit!"
Son of a bitch.
And he's just like, fuck, next time tell me first. God damn it. Like,
Next time you're going to do something like that, tell me first.
right.
Yeah.
I just love it. 'Cause, like, he's fine with the decision that was made. Just let me, like, let's have a game plan at least. Like,
Yeah.
I'm fine with
Let me
going ham on these
Yeah.
jackasses.
Don't be a wild card about it.
Now I do kind of like how he's like, "Is that the first man you killed?" And she's like, "First man,"
Right.
because she still counts the stable boy. That
Oh, and she should.
and she should. But yeah,
And it was a kill.
and it was a kill, but it was
Well,
one.
he absolutely gives her credit. Like, well, she's killed somebody.
Or credit.
Like, she makes a good
Yeah.
point. Like, no, it's not the first time I've killed. And he gets it, I think. I mean, pretty apparent. It was a good scene, though.
Yeah.
At the very end of this, she says, Valar Morghulis.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever heard her say that before, though.
She has whenever Jock and Hagar forced her to learn it.
Mhm.
Oh,
gave
no.
her the
No,
coin.
that's, but
Just say
she's never said it after, like, learning it until now, is what I mean.
I'm not sure.
I'm pretty sure because
That's fine.
I love her. I'm not saying like I just think it's something I would have noticed.
Okay.
I could be wrong.
Yeah. No, that's
But-
completely fair.
I mean, I can't think of like a specific instance. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
and I'm not going to. So,
Yeah.
All right,
Cool.
perfect.
so right now
Cool.
you're correct until the chat says otherwise.
Chat, back me up. Tell me I'm right. Can I get a point by you? So we're gonna go to the gift. We have John and Ygritte. John gives a meaningful goodbye, and Ygritte leaves a parting gift. So we have Ygritte with a bow in the gift.
Yep.
There you go.
Yeah. My only note was colon closed parentheses frowny face.
Brown face.
Aw.
Yeah. I think they're so much in love that these are definitely Cupid's arrows.
Yeah.
Shot
I'm trying to keep him to
at
stay.
John. Yeah. So we'll see if that if he comes back.
Yeah, maybe he will
'Cause
once he recovers.
He's like, wait a
Yeah.
second.
I have
I'm in
painful,
love.
painful, but not deadly. Absolutely planned, and he kind of deserved it, in my opinion.
Yeah, but in his defense, I mean, what he is basically saying is like, you always knew who I was. You've always known what I was. We weren't. I never lied to you about that. I didn't lie about you telling you that I loved you because I do, and it sucks. And this is hard. We knew this was going to be tough and basically an impossible thing. But guess what? You kind of forced the issue. You saved my life with it, and we wouldn't be here if you didn't. But like the fantasy is over. Like I have to go home now. Like I have to. Like that's where we're at in our story. And it sucks, but we can't do anything about it at this point.
I know.
It's heartbreaking.
It is heartbreaking on all levels. I just wish, could he just bring her with him?
Or
Put her down at, what is like Moles? No, what is it? Molestown or Fleece?
Yeah, you don't want
Just-
her in Molestown.
I just put her up in like a nice little apartment somewhere, not
Holy crap.
too far away.
Yeah, do that.
Come on.
She would kill somebody in Molestown.
Well, he wouldn't want her in Molestown. Sorry,
Right.
Hit us up way.
That's
I
what
would
they
think
all
I
just
would
said.
want her in Molestown.
You're the worst.
You would too.
Yeah.
You would visit in the
She's in
heartbeat.
love with someone else. And
He's
that's
more
fine.
of a Dario about that, right, Luke?
I am. I'm not paying for that
Yeah,
shit.
Exactly. So, Castle Black, everybody?
Get on that Jojen train. Going to Castle Black.
All aboard. Sam Gilly and Aemon. Sam defends his actions, warns of the impending night about to fall on them, and all the ravens are sent. And there's a boy named Sam, not Sue, but Sam.
Yeah.
Samson.
Yeah, so that's another one that you've called, right? You're like, she's going to name him Sam.
Yeah, absolutely. Confirmation. Perfect. That's my actual note is imagine that. So
Cool.
there you go. Luke.
You know, Sam is basically going through and he's like, I've seen some shit up there now. And he's trying to kind of defend why he brought Gilly with him, and he's like, we didn't build a wall 500 miles and 700 feet high to keep men out. Like that, no, that's not what we're fucking fighting here. He's kind of getting to the core of what we are here to do has nothing to do with the wildlings. And with all of the interaction that the viewer had with John and the wildlings and all that, that's what they think too. They're like, we just were born on the wrong side of the wall. And that's like, we're literally no different.
We're here to guard the realms of men.
Right.
The realms of men, and realms. I do like how Sam, is growing, grew some backbone for Aemon, and for what he believes is right. Doesn't mention how cute Gilly is, because Aemon can't see her, just saying. But
sure,
it's one of those, because he was completely head over heels smitten at the beginning of last season with her. So, there is something there with him. But it's one also, he makes a good point of, we're here to guard the realms of men, and I did what was right.
Right. My note on the scene, ravens are on the move.
The ravens are marching.
Every one of them flies tonight. And he says something like, how many ravens do we have? Like 40? So that means the top 40 houses are going to get, a letter. So.
If those ravens are trained to go.
Right. They all have one destination.
Yeah. Right.
So it might be House, Weirwood or whatever. Or
Craycall.
I'm a pervert. Oh, here's a note.
Strong bore.
All right. Sorry, you guys are having some choppy sounds over here.
Yeah.
Choppy. It's a little choppy waves today.
Good.
So
tighten the phone cords.
I think we ran through everybody. I apologize. I agree with you all.
Good job. Good job. Us.
Stamp of approval.
Abby approved.
Oh, sorry. So I'm just going to move on. If you can hear me, great. We have John, Sam, Pip. John makes it home with a few extra holes. Oh, Glenn.
So this is not a very big homecoming, but it was bigger than what Jamie got. So
certainly.
Yeah, they acknowledged him. They saw he had holes in him. They said he couldn't see. John says Pip and Sam. And he gets carried away.
Yeah.
Benji.
It was cute. Kind of going back to what Luke said of the Tolkien-esque reunion. John opens his eyes and there's Sam, kind of like a Frodo opening his eyes, and wherever the hell they were, Elrond or I don't know. I don't
Rivendell.
know. Rivendell, fine. I don't know Tolkien.
Elrond Hubbard's house.
Elrond Hubbard. I don't know Tolkien, but he opens up and is like, Sam. Kind of had that a similar feel to it, but it was cute, not all the same.
Luke.
John's home.
That's my note too.
Welcome back. Welcome home, Johnny. That's all I've got, really. It's just nice to see him home. And then whenever they pick him up, he's like, pick him up nicely. They just like lump him up on their shoulders.
Yeah, gently. And then, I don't think that was very gently.
Yeah. So,
whatever.
Yeah, that was all I had too. He's home. That's good news. That's really good news. Yonkai, anybody?
Yonkai. That is too young guy.
That one hurt.
Man.
You're Yonkai train too.
Yonkai train.
Yep. So we have Danny, Jorah, Masandi, Barristan, Grey Worm, Daria, the Unsullied, Yonkai slaves. Danny waits outside of Yonkai to see how many freed slaves come to her.
And I believe, like usual, this is our final scene.
It is our final scene.
Oh, man.
Boom.
Oh, mammoths. For Abby. Cheers.
Thanks, buddy.
So you remember that Mhysa lady? I think I just killed her. No, this is, I don't know, to me it's kind of a weird scene. She's just like, saying her piece, and then they're just like, Mhysa! And just like eating it all up. I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like we all have a very similar, like Benji has no comments.
Oh, yes.
Here.
Oh. I just didn't want to.
I mean, not that you, not that you don't have feelings about it. No, but I feel like here we all have a very similar, like, this is an awkward scene, right? Like, it's just kind of weird.
Okay, Luke. Yeah, Luke does the same.
Yeah, I don't know. Go ahead, Luke.
So I do like her speech.
Yes.
You know, the speech that because Missandei is going through and introducing her, you know, saying, you know, she's the breaker of chains and mother of dragons and all these titles, all these things. And Missandei goes, she is the reason you guys are free now. And that's where Dany's like, whoa, hold on. Easy on that. That's not what I'm going with. That's not what the the press release is going to say. And Dany comes out and she's like, your freedom is not mine to give you. You have to take it. I can help you maybe realize that you have that volition to do so, but at the end of the day, it's yours to take. And then this is kind of where it becomes #problematic, I feel.
Yes.
It is weird, like Glenn said, and it was kind of called out in social media when this came out that this hyper white savior figure just walks out into this sea of darker skinned colored people, and it's just like raised up like a goddess. And Abby Stone is freaking perfect here. It's just like, what?
Exactly.
Really, crowd surfing. That's the final scene of the season is crowd surfing. Like. And I'm a huge Dany fan. I don't even feel like I need to defend that. I'm not saying, I really like her. I like what she stands for. I like that she is powerful, and she hasn't always been perfect, but she is doing things with very good motivators, I believe. I have a problem with her crowd surfing. Like, it just seems so cheap to me. Just like we have this hyper white chick in a dark skinned, surrounded with it's too much.
With like hundreds of people.
Yeah, my note, I color coded it so because I thought I didn't want to piss you guys off, but I'm like, of course the white girl swoops in to save all the brown people. That's because okay, fine. In book to here, there is no racial component when it comes to slaves. It's like with the Greeks and the Romans.
Crazy.
It's like the Greeks and the Romans. They would enslave Greek and Romans. It doesn't matter. Everybody's there's non-race stuff for the most part in the books. It's never really specified. But the show, and I get it, it was filmed in Morocco. So when you're in Morocco and you need 1,000 extras, you're gonna get Moroccans.
Right.
And not Moroccas.
Yeah. Well, you might have some Moroccas.
There could be.
That would have been fun.
Equal opportunity for Moroccas.
But so it's kind of one of those of, I get how the scene played out. They weren't trying intentionally to make it seem like the white savior kind of thing. It just was poorly concepted, I think, on the showrunners in that one scene. And yeah, ending the season on that shot. I have other issues with that I'm not going to get into right now.
Okay.
But, I do agree that is my least favorite ending shot of any season.
It's just been such an epic season. Honestly, I'm going to tell you right now, I think season 3 is the best one I've seen so far. And crowd surfing for a chick, like, I don't feel like Dany's story has gone very far this season. I'm not taking anything away from her. She has made great strides. But think of like the battles we've seen with the North and what's been going on in the Capitol and Joffrey and Stannis even. Him and Dany, they've been around, but I don't feel like any of the episodes have really heavily focused on them, and we'll miss them for an episode completely. Mm-hmm. Like that to be given, and maybe that's a hint at the next season. Like, here we go. We're going to go into this. I don't know. My final thought on this, and I'll give you each a final thought, is, I'll take it down here. The Unsullied's armor looks like Shredder.
Yeah, with their helmet with the cross stitch there. Yeah,
definitely. It's Shredder-ish.
Yeah,
that's what Joe took from the scene. So, anybody else have a final thought?
No, that's
not really.
Yeah. Definitely compared to seasons 1 and 2, for this to be the outgoing shot.
Yes.
Pretty soft. I just comparatively to, especially how, like, I don't know, like for the 3 opens and then now the 3 closes that we've had for the seasons. This is 6. This is bottom of the barrel compared to the other 5, if that makes sense.
That's why I've taken such issue with the scene. Wasn't because the scene itself was this terrible thing, but it's the finale, like the last.
It's to go along with that.
Well, for the bang.
Like,
yeah,
it's Yunkai. Like, it hasn't really been built up for us to be that big of a fucking deal, right? Yeah. I mean, like, taking it was a challenge. We kind of talked. We've gone through and seen how did the sneak attack maneuver, and like that was winning the city, right? And then we just have this where it's like, okay, well now we're convincing the slaves that we're cool. Like,
yeah, because they didn't really explain that. Because you just took the city apparently, but now you're still waiting on the outside for the slaves to come. They didn't explain.
It doesn't make. There's nothing at stake here.
Yeah,
it's not like, oh, these slaves are going to come out and take on this huge row of Unsullied. No, like it's just silly and stupid.
It's like all the slaves are going to comply to whatever she says. I mean,
I think in real life, our team.
Yeah, there's going to be like a number of people that just do whatever the fuck they want because there's no one to tell them what to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then also though, like, oh, she says we're free, but she's all these armed men. What if I actually do walk away? It's kind of one of those. Yeah, you say I'm free, but you're not giving me any sign that I actually am.
Right.
So
and us, the viewer, we know her intentions are great. We know that. It just falls flat, I think. Mm-hmm. It's not sold well at all. It's pretty poorly done, I think. All right.
I agree. So let's do a giveaway. Luke,
all right.
Pull a sigil.
Last one of season 3. And if you would like a sticker, Abby, tell them how we can get them some for season 4.
You can't talk to us on Twitter? I don't know. Sorry, Luke. I'm so sorry.
Sorry. Pulling up the random number generator.
I'm sorry. Threw me off there. I mean, you can call me and I'll make you one of those.
Just give Abby a call.
Yeah. Give me a buzz.
All right. So, random number generator number 35. Number 35. This is a chalice sigil it's a black chalice on a forest green badge outline. So, if you have that sigil, that sticker that we gave you at Ice and FireCon, be sure to tweet us a picture of your black chalice on a forest green badge outline, and we will send you a prize if you tweet us a picture at @NoAndDrink. And we will do our best to get more stickers out for season 4. Write into us if you would like one, and we will keep this going.
Right and where?
Right into noanddrink@gmail.com, or send us a tweet at noanddrink.
Say we want stickers.
I was on the right track.
Say, sticker me, bro.
Sticker.
I'm pretty sure none of mine won. I don't think I've seen any. That's absolutely ridiculous. You just take mine out of the pile.
Yeah, I don't think we had any chevrons win.
It was a raven.
Right.
We had ravens.
Ravens. Oh, okay. Yeah.
No chevrons won, though.
No chevrons.
Hey, I was correct in that statement.
7-Eleven took a few home, though.
7-Eleven.
Phillips 66 did okay.
Good. You put it on the back of a van with that blue siding and AstroTurf on the outside or whatever. You know what I'm talking about? No? Okay.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, all right. So let's talk about how accurate the description was. So we have the season 3. Sorry, Luke.
No, go for it.
The season 3 finale, Joffrey challenges Tywin. Dany waits to see if she is a conqueror or a liberator. It's pretty true.
Joffrey definitely challenges Tywin. That happens.
That happens.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Dany was waiting outside to see if the people gave a shit, I guess. I'm so confused by that scene.
Well, because she's like, are they going to look at me as I'm just conquering them? Am I going to have to rule them, or am I freeing them? So, I mean, and because she does vocalize that to Jorah, and she's like, how does a conquered people, blah, 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 blah. And he's like, you're not a conqueror. You're a liberator. Jorah's the one that puts it out to that. And even then it's like, not quite. I mean, you have to prove to them that they're liberated and all that.
Yeah. I don't know.
So episode title of Mhysa. We think that's a good title for this episode.
Nope.
I feel like it's kind of weak. I mean, it's the closing scene.
Right. That was just her only scene was just the last one. And
it could have been.
They say that, but do you really think that's what the whole episode was about?
No. So this one, I do think there are a few places where mother could make sense here. We have the conversation with Cersei talking about Joffrey and how, regardless of how much of a shit he is, she still is mother. So I feel like if you look at it more of just the mother side and not specifically on Mhysa, even though Glenn's convinced that titles have to be only one story.
I didn't say that. I was saying
you fight me for a while.
There's been a couple episodes where it's just specifically to this, and you're just trying to make connections every which way, and not saying that the actual one is the one.
I'm saying it can also potentially apply to
No, the one.
Apparently, no. It's not. It's not an option.
You
apparently.
said, it means fucking somebody else.
It means fucking somebody else. That's what this means. Mhysa means you're fucking somebody else.
I mean, you argued that the one time. That happened.
There was one, and I was right.
No, you weren't.
In my head.
Oh,
I was
my
right.
goodness.
You've
Anyway,
you assumed you were right.
I'm lost because I was reading chat,
before.
so I didn't hear the start of this.
Oh, it's okay. I'll fill you in.
Yeah. So, all right.
All
I
right.
think we're good.
Accurate or no? Kind of. Yes,
Yeah.
accurate. Do we like it?
No.
We'll give it a half thumb.
half thumb.
Half thumb. Okay. So let's get into our least favorite things. Glenn.
Stadium.
So
I don't-
Shea, hashtag Shea Stadium.
Yeah, I don't really need to go into detail. Just that.
I just don't like the whole thing.
Like that.
Yep. Benj.
I didn't hate it as much, but still Mhysa. Yeah. Nope. The least favorite part.
Just weak.
Yeah.
I agree. Luke.
I'm going the Mhysa scene as well. Just weak, kind of awkward, and a little unnecessary, especially for the way it's done.
Yep. So my least favorite thing is going to be eating the sausage. And we're going to go right into our favorite things. Benj.
The sausage.
The sausage.
I laughed so fucking hard the first time I saw that, and I laughed so fucking hard when I watched it yesterday because it is just so funny. Just his little wiggle. It's his joke. I mean, he's the Joker of this universe. He's just an agent of chaos. And it's just so funny and so.
It bothers me so bad. Like the psychological warfare that he plays, it just, it's awful.
But like
and
I said, there's one line they could have added that would have made this probably one of my favorite scenes of all time, but they don't have
just
it.
a notch your book.
Whoops.
Glenn?
Favorite thing? We see Sam's letter getting out, or, to the Ravens are on the move, and then you see like the other side of it where a letter got to Stannis. So eventually there's going to be White Walker awareness moving forward to others in Westeros. Now, I guess we just see one side of somebody, how they take the letter. I think there's definitely going to be other people that are like, what the fuck is this? Throw it away. Move it aside.
I feel like we have a responsibility to the viewership to make sure that the White Walker Awareness Association is started.
White Walker Awareness.
Yep.
The WWAA.
A white ribbon.
It felt like there was banners to be made.
This month is White Walker Awareness Month.
Yes. Everybody, go get checked for White Walker.
See if you are coming down with White Walker.
Yes. Exactly. I'm going to pick the character pairings in this particular episode. I think some of them are really strong. Almost every scene that we kind of jump to, you see some great actors like playing against each other. We have Arya and the Hound and Roose Bolton and Walder Frey. They both did really, really great. Even like Sam and Aemon Targaryen, like the way that's played, and you have Jon and Ygritte, like it's like every single one. You have Nothing Really Let Me Down, Davos and Gendry. So it just kind of stood out in this episode for me tonight. And Luke, you're last.
Davos as acting Hand of the King after he's been sentenced to death by Stannis. It's so funny. He's just like, I sentence you to death. He's like, whoa, hold on just a minute here. You haven't unnamed me Hand of the King. I'm going to advise against you killing me. Let's start there. Let's put a stopper on this. You're going to need me. I just like Davos in general, and him helping out Gendry here is pretty well done.
It's awesome. I love, he's just a funny guy. Luke, do you want to give us a little info on Patreon?
Sure. So you can go to patreon.com/stayimaginary, and you can find out how you can help support our show and get some really cool swag in return. Exclusive content, access to our Slack channel, and all sorts of different things like a merchandise club and a specific patron exclusive podcast called The Podcast That Must Not Tell Lies. It's related to our Harry Potter podcast, and it's a little bit deeper dive on there. We're working towards getting a lot more content for Drinks and Nose Things for patron exclusive, and we'll have more on that coming up soon. But for all the ways that you can help keep our beer bank full, check out thepodcastthat.com/support us, and we appreciate it. Thank you.
Benji coming up with new ideas every day, it seems.
Yeah, I mean, maybe the patrons, we can fly them here and put them to work in the garden. We can go,
Catch
they
a
can
flick.
go shovel shit at the wall.
We can go to Walmart together.
The Wall, also known as the huge STV.
Oh, man. Benji, redeem yourself. Let us know about Floats Down Here.
Podcast That Floats Down Here is a chapter by chapter read through summary podcast of Stephen King's It. myself, Luke, and our other sister, Melissa, go through and we don't read each chapter, we summarize each chapter and give our thoughts and opinions. Luke has never read the books, never seen the miniseries, never done anything with it. All he knows is Stephen King wrote it. And we decided, hey, read this, but you can only do one chapter at a time, and we're going to take some time in between. So he's been working on this for quite some time, and we're only about halfway through. So it's a fun kind of walk through, read through, whatever, to find out. We'll be also covering the miniseries and the 2 movies that are the last movie that was released last year and the new movie that'll be released next year. We'll be covering all that. And then from there, hopefully we'll keep on going with another Stephen King book. We'll figure out which one we're doing in a while.
Yeah, so join us every other Friday for that.
Yep. Right? Comes out every other Friday, and you can find out more at thepodcastthat.com. You can tweet us there at Floats Down Here.
Perfect. Glenn, will you let us know about Must Not Be Named?
Yeah, the podcast that Must Not Be Named is all about Harry Potter. You have Luke and Melissa. They're talking about Harry Potter, Ron Weasley, Hermione Granger, Albus Dumbledore, Snape,
Crookshanks,
Draco Malfoy, Hagrid,
Luna Lovegood,
and others.
and more.
And more. Stay tuned to find who they're talking about.
See, I think Glenn should do all the
and then you can learn. You can learn more at thepodcastthat.com.
That comes out every Sunday, and you can follow us there at Not Named Podcast.
Oh my
Thanks,
lord,
that was awesome. That was awesome. Harry Potter, Ron Weasley.
Oh my lord. Okay, so over to me. This is the first time Watcher on the Wall predictions, and there's a lot.
Okay, you're doing more than 4?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
rattle them off.
Ready? Season 4, the North becomes a real threat. Winter is coming in Season 4. Number 2, Ramsay becomes a big problem for more than just Theon. Theon may be his first taste of this sadistic power. I'm saying maybe, like in my mind, maybe Theon is his first taste of this sadistic power. And now this psychopath, he starts to escalate. And I think I'm getting a little bit of hint of that because of that letter that he sent. I feel like he is gaining confidence. Number 3. Yep. In the final scene, Danny and Co. company are standing on some type of rock formation of sorts. The positions they are in a direct reflection of her succession of ranking.
Okay.
Therefore, Jorah should be more intimidated and threatened by Missandei than Daario.
So Jorah is placed below Missandei.
You need a visual reference. I'm put that on there.
Oh, okay.
Pencil. So we got Danny at the top. Missandei is slightly above her. And then we got Barristan and Jorah, same rock leverage. Daario to them. The 3 dragons in front, I think that's just because they're kids. You know, they wanted to see. And they're dragons.
They're chillin'.
And then we got they're the Unsullied. So, number 4, Arya, Valar Morghulis. I think she will be a faceless man. Number 5, Jon goes after Bran. And on this adventure, trying to find him, he runs into everybody's favorite wildling. And number 6, Cersei marries Dolores.
What was the 5th one again? Sorry.
Jon goes after Bran. Jon, and maybe like a party. Like I think he's going to be allowed to go after them.
To find
and we're going to run into Ygritte again.
Okay.
Really quick, do we want to go over some of her previously stated predictions?
Do you have a...
I'm pulling up, because...
if you can do it real quick.
1 second here. I'm pulling up last week's.
Do it quickly.
I know I predicted that some people would... I don't know, maybe that was 2 times ago.
You
predicted Rod. Yeah, I got 2 more to go. Joffrey and who else? Theon. They got to go.
Okay, so yeah, I'm trying to pull yours up here really quick here. So, they're not typed in here. So you did predict Sam and Bran would cross paths.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
you were correct about that one. And then what was your second one that ended up being true?
Sam the baby.
Sam the baby.
Baby Sam. Yep. So, all right. Yeah. When you said Sam and Bran, I'm like, I know she watched.
She knows her Sam and Bran.
The next episode.
Yeah. No,
So good call outs on.
I just think some of it. If I was just watching for enjoyment, I don't necessarily. I would think I would know. But when you slow it down, and I literally take I don't know if you can see these on here. I'll show you a better page that's not pencil written. But I'm sitting here taking scene by scene notes. like in depth what's going on. There's just these trends that are a little more obvious that way. So I've been wrong too. Real wrong.
Yeah, little finger.
Yeah, that's the biggest one so far. All right, I'm going to run down mine, and then you guys can follow suit. I am Gertie of House Condescension. My words are we don't quit. I have a sigil that is a field of white with a raven sitting atop a black up-pointed chevron. My sword is named Gunther, and I live north of the wall. We pray to the old gods. My horse's name is Odin. My animal's name is JJ the Honey Badger. It's short for Judge Judy. Our ancestral home is Gertie's Gallows, and our hometown newspaper is the Nightly Raven. You can connect with me on my personal Twitter at GoHomeGertie. My final thought, best season so far.
All right, I am Lucan of House Blackmead. House words, ours is the drink. Our sigil is an obsidian black chalice on a gold and blue checky background. We have a house sword called the Sweet Sting. We are from the Riverlands because we supply the Crossroads Inn with all of their mead needs, med neds, as Glenn likes to say. We appreciate what the old gods are up to. And I have a horse named Cherry. Broke her leg last week. Might have to put her down. We'll see. We'll see. But Paris the Parrot's doing well. He's hanging out at home at the Ancestral Keep. Black Cast Keep. We read The Drowned Word, and you can connect with me on my personal Twitter at LucaFerocious.
All right, and I am Sly of House McLean. Our house words, it's dangerous to drink alone. House sigil is 3 gold triangles on a field of red and black. Our house sword is Konami, because they make blades of steel. We live in the Reach. We pray to the gods of tits and wine. We ride Peach all night long. That's our horse. Ares the Phoenix is always hanging out, and we live in the Tower of Hera. Make sure to watch out for Moldorn. And we read the Daily Sun. And if you'd like to contact me, you can get me on Twitter at Sly McLean, SLYMCLAIN.
And I am Glenn of House Dog. House words, you miss 99% of the shots you don't take. House sigil is a Spuds McKenzie Bull Terrier with a Wayne Gretzky number 99 jersey on. My house sword is named Johnny Utah. I am from the Vale. I follow dem new gods.
Dem new gods.
My horse name is Horsemeat. I had another animal that was going to try to be the number 1, but Rich the Flying Squirrel took him the fuck out.
See ya.
See ya, bitch. My ancestral home is the castle at Beast Mountain. I subscribe to the Moon Door Bee, and you can follow me on Twitter at Popsicle Stand. My final thought, you can join us next season, season 4, where we're going to talk about Jon Snow, Daenerys Targaryen, Tyrion Lannister, Sansa Stark, and others.
Plus. Minimum.
Oh boy. Please, Glenn, work on promos that all sound like that. So we can just drop them in. That'll be perfect. With some like sweet music behind there. Like, heart pumping beat. That'd be good. So, please join us in our Please join them in their epilogue episode coming up next, entitled Hearts of Stone. You can follow us on Twitter at KnowAndDrink. You can send us a digital raven at knowandDrink@gmail.com. Please subscribe, like, rate, and leave comments on iTunes or YouTube. And until next time, as always, I still don't know, so I'll just drink.
As always, don't turn your back on the Wolfpack.
As always, winter is coming, and so am I.
And as always, thanks for hanging out. Stay imaginary.
How do you know this?
That's what I do.
Mainly stay classy.
I drink,
but mainly,
and I know things.
Thanks for being here.
Thanks for being here.
Drink up.